One in Wisconsin did not feel too good, but the other, at Sparrow, welcomed baby girl Grooch into this world, and for her, and only her, we say mazel. You're listening to Can't Read, Can't Write. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Can't Read, Can't Write, the podcast that proves Spartans can talk. I'm Mike Jones, joined as always by the guy who definitely doesn't kick his dog, Alex Plum, and not by our newest daddy, Kevin Greck, which I'm realizing there's a non-zero chance that he's, instead of parenting right now, watching this.
I would like to think that he is. And if he is, Kevin, congratulations. You did it.
Yes.
We're so proud of you.
Yes, we're very proud of you. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm great. I regret the cold opening had to get changed a little bit. I was trying to reference Tom Izzo in the press conference on the Wisconsin loss as a good old fashioned ass kicking was the language he used. So we had to do a little bit of editing, which is where the dog kicking reference came in. But spanking was good. And I don't, do they spank babies anymore in hospitals? I don't know if they do this or not.
I don't think they do, but Greg insisted upon
That
it.
they did.
So,
That sounds right.
but everybody there had to do it. It was a
Good.
birthday spankings thing. It's real weird.
It's well, he's not a normal person, I think is what we can say about that.
Nope. It'll be up on our Instagram anytime now, so people can check out the video of that.
That's gonna get reported.
We, of course, want to thank everyone for listening. And if we could ask a small favor, please share the pod with Spartans in your life. Rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get podcasts. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Spartan_pod and Blue Sky at Spartan Pod. Plum,
Blueski.
you, sir, did like the entire outline.
I did.
Does Greg have to have a baby to get this level of effort from you?
I have to say, I think so. I think this is a once in a sort of generational moment, and very, very self-satisfied, fatuous even with it. We're going to lead off behind the green wall where football always leads. We've got some coaching updates. We'll probably skip high school boys this week because it's just a lot of prognosticating before we rant about CBS, which is an absolute, utter broken news institution, and Trump was right all along. We'll talk basketball, but not very much because fuck us. Wisconsin was unpleasant to experience, and it will be unpleasant to review with you, the viewer, listener, etc. Not really much new to talk about with hockey, but we might talk a little bit Notre Dame as that game's coming up. We'll head off Grand River, where fun things are happening both domestically and internationally before previewing not one, but two games, and then taking your listener questions.
Yes. All right, let's dig in. Let's start with those football green wall nonsense, and we do have some coaching updates. We can start with the QB coach, as we discussed last time. I think the Jackian was here all of a day before heading out, and Pat Fitzgerald wasted no time hiring John McNulty as our new QB coach.
That's right. A Saban tree gentleman, I believe we talked about, got some experience in the NFL, was most recently at Boston?
I think Rutger.
At the Rutger, yes. Coordinator stops at the Rutger and at Boston College. He's also been at Alabama, Notre Dame, and Penn State. So he's got some Big Ten experience, obviously. 35 years, in fact, of coaching experience, starting with 1981 as a U of M graduate assistant. That's going to be a through line today. Unfortunately, we talk about coaches. Not my favorite fucking thing. But does this say something about Fitz? Is this just sort of this magnanimous kind of like cosmopolitan Big Ten design? Like, oh, I knew this guy from when I coached in the Big Ten, and therefore, if he's got a Big Ten pedigree, he's fine with me. Is this just who Fitzgerald is?
I don't think it's that. I mean, I do believe there's the fact that Sheridan worked with him at Alabama, and then we of course have probably an insistence on getting people who know how to recruit the area. So
Yeah.
maybe that's what it is just having seen Michigan State fall off for so long, and when you don't really have a great national brand, which I think is fair to say based upon our winning performance. Now, K9 does help a little bit with that.
Mhm.
Um, but then what do? You got to recruit your backyard a lot better to get people who, it's easy for their families to get to games, who know the institution really well because they grew up, and so I think that's where the Big Ten footprint, historical Big Ten footprint is maybe a
Yeah.
better way of saying it,
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
but you mentioned the through line.
yeah, I was just wanted to say briefly that we can't wish Mike Bajacki anything worse than awful luck at Cleveland, a terrible city to live in. God bless him. So, wish you the worst, you schmuck. But yeah, through lines. Let's talk about through lines. This is interesting. So we're also we're hearing today Travis Russell named newest assistant running backs coach, coming to us from womp womp University of Michigan, where he's most recently been assistant QB coach there, former QB himself at Ferris State. So it's interesting, that side of the ball to the running side of the ball.
Yeah. I don't like this.
Okay.
I don't know anything about Travis. I don't
Sure.
really know anything about John McNulty either, but I
Mhm.
don't like this because
Mhm.
I don't like them. And it feels like in the battle of good and evil, you picked your side.
I
You
mean,
don't
to be
get to
fair,
work for the Empire for a little bit.
listen, I'm with you. He was only there a season. He spent 3 seasons at UMass as a grad assistant and an analyst. So, maybe he just wanted to get home. He was a Ferris State guy, Grand Rapids guy.
Sure.
So,
All right.
let's hope.
All right.
Let's hope. I'm with you. I'm with you. The through line's not a positive one. And again, we can't wish anything worse. Well, other than you get the point. But Jackie
Yeah.
can fuck off. And obviously, Michigan's a real boob. So, okay. Well, anyway, I did want to say before we get off the coaching thing, Fitz has been elected to the board of trustees for AFCA, the American Football Coaches Association. He was the president at one point when he was still at Northwestern of that esteemed organization. I can't imagine it does much, but provide a good networking base and glad handing. He and Bert Bielema are the two Big Ten representatives. Just kind of interesting. Obviously, he's a pretty big networker. He's just now getting back into the game.
Right.
And like that, he's already got himself elected to AFCA. I don't know if that's something that a lot of coaches just don't give a fuck about. So that's not something they're going to spend their time on. Or if this really does say something about the esteem in which maybe potentially he's held by coaching colleagues and peers across the country. I don't know.
Well, if you think about it too, he's been a coach for a really long
Time.
time.
Yeah.
Despite being young
Relative.
by
Yeah.
coaching standards. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
been a head coach for a really long time. I do think he cares in the same way that Tom Izzo cares about the profession.
Yeah.
Your point's well taken that there's probably a fair amount of just networking that's related to it. And he no doubt probably is excellent at that. But I do get the sense that Fitz, like Izzo, is interested in the intellectual side that these organizations, at least performatively engage in. So,
Yep.
but I don't think it hurts to have people
No.
who are connected at that level or who might be able to influence things. But related to that, I think we should talk some CBS ratings. Do you want to tee this up here?
Dick Johnson.
What a name. Can we talk about his parents for a second? Let's start with Dick's parents.
Oh, God.
If your last name is Johnson,
you have to know better.
You can't name your kid Richard.
And you can't name him William. You don't get Willie.
And I've lost Plum, so that's very exciting. So what we're going to chat about is Dick Johnson. Yeah, Plum's back. Welcome back.
Don't know what happened there.
Did not like you saying that you Willie, apparently.
That was it. That was totally it. Out on Willie.
Willie's over the line.
Oh,
but yeah, so Dick Willie Johnson writes an article for CBS News ranking Big Ten, ranking coaching hires.
Coaching hires, the carousel.
And Fitz continues to get negative pub.
Yes. As best we can tell, this is exclusively because of his most recent record at Northwestern. But
Sure.
I got to say, on balance, a Northwestern team that has struggled in, I mean, a lot of respects with the whole, you had the pandemic in that, you had the whole structure of the way Big Ten East and West. I mean, there's a lot of contextual factors there. But Kyle Whittingham, who's basically dead, the man was on fucking life support and ready to retire, is an A. Why? Because, I mean, Utah had an utterly, abjectly bad season in 24. I think they only had 3 or 4 losses in 25. Okay, next. And that's an A. The standing for Michigan and the standing for the decisions of an absolutely defunct and morally bankrupt program, and the leadership of which is just getting it just listen, the nonsense, and these things they're like listicles. None of it's just bullshit. It's clickbait and it's awful. But my God, it's qualitatively and quantitatively fucking stupid. And Dick Johnson is a real Dick Johnson for writing that. So
Yeah, and we just went through the experience of having a coach who had never coached west of the Rockies. And I'm sorry, east of the Rockies. Sorry.
Absolutely. Excellent point.
Like, and Kyle Whittingham, if I was going to be a Pac-12 or now Big 12 fan, Utah, they play a brand of football that Michigan State fans would have enjoyed. But like that doesn't make him an A higher. And you're right, it is all BS because none of us know anything. Like Pat Fitzgerald could tank here. I'm not staking my mortgage on him, but I'm also not going to say the same thing about Kyle Whittingham. Do we want to dabble in this a little bit longer, or should we just?
No, I think this is good. I was trying to figure out if Richard Johnson was a Mormon. I can't tell. So sorry, Dick. All right. Let's skip the teenage boys. There's just, I mean, I hate to prognosticate. We get ourselves all worked up for these tall Texas and Tennessee boys. Sure. We're not going to today. So look it up on your own if you want. We don't care.
We got some fun offers out. Go check them out.
Go check them out.
Yeah. But we got to take some medicine. We got to chat some shooty hoops. Michigan State goes to Madison, and I don't often turn a game off early, Alex. And I think there were about 4 minutes left in that game, and I was like, I'm done here.
Torvik would tell you it was about 4 minutes when they were like, safe lead achieved. Go ahead and shut her down. So well done, you and Torvik.
Who needs math when you can just intuit? I don't. On the one hand, I think we need to talk about the game. On the other hand, I don't know how indicative this game is of what we hope this team is capable of accomplishing in March. Yeah. But look, we're now fully in the middle of February, and you've lost 3 out of the last 4. And there are some consistent themes happening here. Digging yourself a hole early.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, there's a degree to which Wisconsin shot extremely well, but on the other hand, no one chose to guard anyone. It felt like for portions of that game.
Fucking bit, in fact, refused.
Yeah. Yeah. Wisconsin leading 51-34 at halftime, I think, is all you need to know about the game.
Awful. Izzo points this out. He said the threes, I'm not upset about the threes. Wisconsin's a good shooting program. They're often a good shooting program. We knew they were going to be a good shooting program. He said, what I can't explain is why we didn't guard them. Right. Why our defense was so poor. Why we didn't hustle to get back. Why we couldn't read any fucking screens. We weren't moving. He was just sort of, someone asked him at one point about this. Losses 3 of the last 4. And I hadn't heard that that Pressman. I don't know if he was a Wisconsin guy who asked the question. Um, the reporter, but he had said something like, it's kind of funny, right? Like you haven't, no one's losing their mind. It was a weird question. It kind of was phrased almost like as a gotcha question, but he was trying to be like, you don't seem worried. Should you be worried? Is this
Right.
kind of funny though? Like this happens, like, and then all these 20-point like I think Graham asked it on behalf of Solari, the 20-point, like, why are so many 20-point losses? What the fuck's happening? And it was like, a sick part of me wants to say that there's some humor in it, but no, of course I don't see any humor in it. And then he called out the Minnesota, which we'll talk about those other losses in a minute. But he was just like, nothing's really changed except for the Minnesota loss. Like for him, Wisconsin, meh. Michigan,
I mean, they beat some good teams. Yeah.
meh. They beat some good teams. Meh. Not my thing. At Minnesota, yeah, we fucked up. Okay. This is very good. I mean, I think this is really interesting. The point differential was a thing, and he went back to this. And that is, again, for him, essentials. Guarding, rebounds. We've got to talk about rebounds because that was hellacious. And of course, this is where he acknowledges where we knew it would happen eventually, the loss of Divine Ogochukwu, because not having an ability to respond, you can make some errors, but if you can't dig out, and you only can dig out if you can shoot. And that's where, he's like, you don't know a guy is going to be great until you don't have him. And he said, guys are always better when they're injured. Guys are always better when they've graduated. The history gets to rewrite it. And so I think he was doing some of the holding and carrying the tension, but these are some good points. And I think this is maybe where we spend some time.
Yeah. Well, let's start, I guess, with the guards. Jeremy Fears ends this game with 14 points and 12 assists and only one turnover. On paper, it's a really good game. I think he played like shit. It 3 for 12 from the field.
Yeah.
Like, wasn't particularly efficient. Wasn't able to get into the paint.
Yep.
You talk about people not moving around, but like he also wasn't creating.
Correct.
And the problem is that you would have been thrilled with Jeremy Fears, I don't know, 4 weeks ago having 14 points. But now that we know Jeremy Fears is more than capable of putting up another 10 on top of that.
Yes, that's right. 20 plus night is not good. This point about penetration is the right one. Izzo mentioned the word penetration several times. I was expecting him to start getting bleeped. It was coming out so often. So that was an interesting thing. But it's the same thing. Jordan Scott could not get in. 4 for 13 from the paint. Carson, 3 for 6. Jackson, 2 for 6. This is, I mean, if you can't get into the post, you're not, the offensive rebound isn't happening in any meaningful way. They're not getting putbacks. You're not able to get in. And that is the defensive mismatch. The fact that we're not guarding, but Wisconsin's got us completely locked out of the paint. So this is what I'm saying. So like, again, if they're going to be effective there, then the only way is shooting. And this was interesting. Another thing that he had said that he thought he should have been playing Cohen at the 4 more. I thought that was an interesting perspective. But again, the way he shot, I mean, 6 for 10 is pretty good. He went 1 for 2 from behind the 3. He was our high scorer tonight at 19. I don't know how much more realistically you would have expected from Cohen Carr at the 4, maybe 5 or 6 more points. It's not going to cut a 21-point differential. So that was an interesting perspective for me.
Yeah, I guess I'm also kind of like, all right, well then who are you playing at 3? Like, is that so you can have Kerr and Jordan Scott out there at the same time? I don't know. I think the thing is, to Tom's point, missing Divine and the shooting there is inconsistent as it was, but like at times could light it up. The real challenge here is that you now have to win on your defense because you can't shoot your way out of a problem. And unless Jackson Kohler finds it again, and we're not there right now. 1 for 4, you'd kind of take that if you knew that other nights it was like 2 for 4 or 3 for 4, but we haven't seen that in a little while. So, he ends this game with 5 points and 7 boards. Like that. I think here's the thing is that when you see Jackson Kohler and Carson Cooper, for that matter, coming down with single-digit boards, there was a problem here. There was a team problem here. I'm not. I'm. This is not to say that Jackson or Carson don't work hard. I want to be really clear. Like I think they hustle. Like they're people you're proud are part of your program.
Yep.
But for them to both come down with single digits on top of some of the other things that we're talking about,
Yep.
that as a collective they lacked effort. They
Yep.
were tired. I don't know, but it wasn't good.
Yep.
Um,
No, I mean, you name shooting efficiency. That's a huge part of the story tonight. Wisconsin 48% from two and 45%, I guess, 15 out of 35 out of three. I mean, 43%, 15 fucking threes. This to our 30%, uh, just worse than 30%. Uh, yeah, on threes and 38%, 36% from two, 8 for 27 versus 15 for 35. Not only did they put up 8 more three-point attempts on us, they nearly doubled the successful complete. I mean, that's just anytime a team is. I just. Oh.
well, also, I think if we look back at our box scores, generally speaking, if we're putting up 27 3-point attempts, it is not a good game for us. We
Correct.
don't shoot the three that much.
Because we don't fucking complete the three, it turns out, that much.
And we execute with a lot more efficiency in the 2-point space. But like we're talking about not getting penetration, not talking about people not moving, right? Like seeing 27 3-point attempts is both an indictment of the hole that you dug and the fact that your offense was stagnant.
100% correct. And letting them put up 35 again is evidence that you have not figured out how to guard a team that knows it. And that's on Izzo. I mean, ultimately, that you can't correct that at halftime when you're down 51 to 6,922. 51,
I think someone put ketamine in their Cheerios or something because it just doesn't make sense.
17 fucking points at half. I just do not understand. So awful. What else? I like he referred to their quote little guard went off, and that made me giggle. Izzo talking about anyone being little is just a giggle. Yeah, mentions Divine. When asked about rebounding, he's like he can't explain it. He gave Cam a shout out, which I thought was interesting here. Cam's stat line for rebounding doesn't look exceptional to me.
It does not. It's 3 boards.
3 boards there. To Kohler had 7, Cooper had 8, even Jordan Scott had 4. So I don't know what that was about. There must be something contextual that I didn't catch. But he's interesting. He's like, we out rebounded the best rebounding team in Illinois by 10. And then we come here and we can't fucking get our hands on a goddamn ball. He did say at one point, which I thought was interesting. He said, what they made in quality shots, we like had the inverse of. Like they were making these quality shots. He was like, they were making shit shots and we couldn't get the good shots we were having go in. So there's a little bit of like, unfavorable rim. That's luck. That happens. That's not 21 points. I don't know what you say about any of that.
I guess the other thing is, Michigan State between this game and the Illinois game did have quite a bit of time off for midseason. I think sometimes that helps you, sometimes that hurts you. And maybe, if we're talking about sort of a lack of, we'll just call it effort for lack. I'm not coming up with a better word, but a lack of connectivity, right? That maybe that time off just kind of got everyone in a funk. I'm not willing to read too much into this game right now, but it is cautionary for sure. And got to keep an eye on it. But if you're able to take down Illinois, who's operating at an insane efficiency level, then, feels like a team you're now, I believe, tied with or has passed you in the Big Ten standings in Wisconsin. You should have been able to take them down. You had another interesting point on here about, or maybe this was from Izzo, about like not being able to, you're only getting one game with these teams.
Yeah.
Being out of the Big Ten at this point, the Big Ten race.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that was it. So he was asked about where we are in the standings at this point. We're basically out of the race. And how did he feel about that, coming on all these losses? And our fans jumping off the bandwagon, and
Is anyone
just
jumping off the bandwagon?
and so Izzo intimated, it was at first he blames the reporters, which I love when he blames the reporters. He's like, you guys don't do a great job of explaining this. I tried to explain this to you a couple weeks ago.
You
I let you
idiots.
know what was coming around the corner. You didn't really report it. And then he sort of intimated, he's got guys that call his office and email his office with their notes on the state of the program. He's like, I guess they're your readers. I don't really know. And I just thought that was like old man yelling at cloud, like perfect Izzo. He's like, yeah, there's ups and downs, but he said, the league now, this many teams, this many one-team preps, this many styles of play. He's like, sorry, Judd, I know you're looking down. Probably don't like me saying this, but it's just a lot harder now. When you played every team twice, the second prep was a piece of cake. And now you get that 3 times, and one of those times is the last game of the season. At this point, what are we doing? It's so much more work. And he's like, I'm not complaining about it. I'm explaining it. And he said, just because you guys don't do a great job explaining it all the time. And I just thought, oh, that's great.
Though it's kind of an interesting point that does this make Michigan State, which Tom Izzo was already very good at prepping for the tournament.
Yeah.
But does this maybe make it a little bit better, a little bit easier come March?
I think so. I mean, he's resigned to whatever his bubble fate is at this point. And not bubble, but like 1 seed, 2 seed, 3 seed,
4,
28 seed.
Red seed, blue seed.
Right. Give me a good seed. So that's that thing. And I will see. I mean, I think he was magnanimous about it. He's like, listen, you can work your ass off and be looking at a 1 seed, and then some team has a great fucking run in their tournament. All of a sudden they're number 1 in the Midwest and we're playing in Detroit. He's like, and that happened last season. And all of a sudden we're in Detroit on a 2, and that's great. And that, or whenever that season or 2 ago, so this is the kind of the thing. He's like, that's the thing I like about Izzo. So he just doesn't get himself utterly worked up about this. The shit that he gets pissed off on is the X's and O's of what he knows his team. It's the effort. It's what he knows his team can do. Yeah. And that's, I think, like, it just as a fan, I'd rather have him worried about that. What's going to happen, predicting the future, all of the, you don't know how Michigan's going to do when it comes time to the tournament. They're probably going to do great. They're probably going to do great in the Big Ten tournament. Fuck it. But you don't know. And a lot of shit can happen in the Big Ten. He makes the point. This is Michigan State. So I don't know. Yeah. I will say when we were 19-2, I thought for sure we had, some things could happen. Some nice things could happen for us. And then, now, well, it'll be fun when we get into March, and that'll just be a giggle. You can't think too much about it.
I think we need Jackson Kohler back. That seems to be the biggest thing that has changed. And don't get me wrong, he's boarded well. He's defending at a much higher level than I think anyone ever anticipated to be capable of defending at.
I know.
But the shot just isn't there right now. And he seems to be a little gun shy. Yeah. And it's kind of the comment I made last week about I need Cohen Carr to foul out in a game only from offensive fouls. I need Jackson to not be scared.
Yeah.
So
with you.
Yep. Should we talk puck?
Yeah, not a lot to say. Not a lot to say. We obviously split the pair last week with Michigan. 2 weeks ago, I guess now, right? Week and a half ago or so. But we play this Thursday and Friday against Notre Dame. Excited for this. Thursday and Friday. Both games at Munn. If you're in East Lansing, you should definitely try to get there. I did not actually do much prep on this. I don't know where.
Who cares?
Done in this. Okay. It's great.
Puck. Greg's the one who knows a lot of puck. Mm-hmm. And because we don't have Greg here.
It looks like we swept our 2-game road series in November against them, winning 4-1 and 3-1. As of today, I don't know. We're still number 1, I think, in hockey.
We are.
In the Hockeys. 22-6 overall on a one win streak with that Michigan win. 13-5 in the conference. So we'll see.
Notre Dame seems to be unranked, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Look, Plum, I have a question for you.
Yes.
If you were hungry, you were on a road trip.
Yeah.
Heck, let's say you were just in Ingham County or Washtenaw County, either county. Where would you go to eat?
if I had my choice and I wasn't a baby trying to suckle at the teat of mother's breast. Is that the same thing? The teat of mother's breast? I think that's
No, because you could be on a non-teat part of it.
very good. So then that's what we'll go with. If I wasn't doing that, like a certain
You have a teat of your peck, right? Like,
thank you.
but you could also suckle at the peck, and it's not
Well,
necessarily the teat.
that's not gonna be nourishing in the way that I think we're describing right now.
It's a user error.
And it has been before. Well, I would be going to Mama's Mercantile and Eatery. This is a place where you're going to find just
Suckling on
good,
teats.
no teats. I don't think there's teats. There might be animal teats in the back. I don't know. It's all Michigan made. I have to assume that they're getting their milk from a Michigan teated cow. I don't know. I'm going to assume their beef,
Sure.
other products. Listen,
Udder products.
oh, good. See, look at us. This is really awful. And I'm sorry to everyone that's listening. Homemade dishes, locally sourced ingredients, excellent burgers, great pizzas, fantastic craft cocktails. Head to Mama's, 4450 Clear Lake Road. It's Grass Lake, Michigan. You're gonna love it. If you're in Grass Lake, you're an idiot if you haven't been. I'm sure you have. Dine in, order online, tell them we sent you. 10% off. On Tuesdays, it's 150% off. They pay you to eat there.
They pay you to eat there.
So come as a guest, leave his family. Visit mamasmerc.com for more.
All right. Let's head off Grand River, and I feel like there's a number. It's been a week of sort of controversy in sports.
Yes.
We have the fight, St. John's and Providence. Did you see this?
I did not see this. Was there a brawl, Michael?
There was someone, one of the players, I believe, from Providence has gotten a 3-game suspension. First for a hard foul that really involved taking a man down, laying the ball up by his head. Like it was sort of a U-lock and then bringing him down. That resulted in 6 players being ejected from the game. I do sort of feel like, though, I don't know, if someone did that to my teammate, like, do you expect me to not do something? Like, we've moved past the law at this point in time. Like, there is a who is the Leviathan, right? Is the Hobbesian, right? Like,
yes,
we're gonna give over to government to take. No, we're done here. Refs can't do enough in this situation.
all the coaches. Can I just say, Duncan Powell has one of the most egregiously offensive haircuts of any human I've ever seen. He should be ashamed to present his body in this way in public.
And then there's the Doug Gottlieb rant. Did you? I sent this over to you. Did you see it?
I love an unhinged coach. I love an unhinged coach wanting explanations from the media on a technical foul. That is peak.
Oh no, he demanded it from the new conference commissioner and the head of officials. He's like, there are 4 things you can get a technical foul for. I didn't do any of them. I was in the box. I didn't use any swear words. I wasn't demonstrative in any way. I merely said that's the same play that happened on the other side.
That's funny.
But yeah, so Doug Gottlieb loses his mind, and we're ramping up, of course, to I think maybe the biggest controversy of them all was finding out what we all knew all along, which is that Canada is really just cold Australia.
Yeah,
it is a country filled with criminals,
and
cheats.
Criminals, and swindlers. That's what they do. They swindle the good people of Sweden, I might say. There's some context for the gentle listener who's not up to speed on gentlemen's sports. Now, this is, the soccer was long referred to as the gentleman's game because when soccer, known of course historically as football, was originally conceived, they did not have referees. And of course they do now, but curling, of course, largely, other than the Olympics, where they do have some official that's somewhere, like maybe even off ice, not refereed. Players have to call their own fouls. There is some question as to the there was a camera placed apparently to catch this action, as if Sweden had it on authority that
Yes.
Canada might do this thing. And so they
did do it regularly. Yes.
and in
So
fact, they do.
if anyone is unaware, because I think a lot of people are getting real educated up on the nuances of curling rules, because they're like, this is just shuffleboard ice. That's definitely not something I said very recently.
Is there a
But
hog
so
line on a shuffleboard, Michael? That's the real question.
can't touch it after the hog line. But so the stones that they throw have a sensor in the hand.
Right. In the handle. Yep.
In the handle, yeah, sorry. And then so as soon as you release it, it's noted electronically that it's been released pre-hog line, which is the green line that they throw the curling stone from.
Yeah, that's right.
But so what people do is they will touch and tap, sorry, the granite portion of the stone post hog line.
After they've, well, ostensibly, it's after they've released it. If they just are like, oh, fuck, it didn't quite release the way I wanted, they can just give it a little boop before it hits the hog line. And they're allowed to do that.
Right. But that is not the situation here. And so Sweden made sure to have a television person at the ready to monitor purely this line, because Canada, apparently, again, a country filled with criminals, scoundrels, and no good cheats, was double tapping the stone, got called on it, and then because it's a gentleman's game.
That's right.
The greatest sin, apparently, in all of this was the Canadian curler saying, fuck off, because you don't swear in curling, apparently.
That's right. That's right.
Anyway,
I don't know. It's not a good look. And the thing I would say about this particularly is that he did do it. And the doubling down, the gratuitous doubling down and the swearing and the everything else, it's
the
not
gaslighting.
A good look. It's a gaslight. It's just not a good look. And, I think karma. So I'm going to bring this up now. So the United States did something too. The mixed doubles, the women and men, are the first time an American woman has ever medaled in curling, happened this year when the mixed doubles team got silver. We beat, I think it might have been Canada, it might have been Sweden. I don't know who we beat to get into the championship round. And it was alleged that the dude on the mixed doubles team, that his foot hit one of the stones. And that would have been,
sure,
either a rethrow or something. I don't know what the resolution to that is, but it has to be acknowledged.
It's only every 4 years do any of us learn anything about
curling. And anyway, the other opponent team, I can't remember if it was Sweden or Canada, but one of them was like, hey, you kicked the stone there, my guy. And he's like, no, I didn't. And they're like, are you sure? And he doubled down and no, I didn't. And then we won. And when I heard that happen, I was like, we will not win the gold. We will be winning the silver, because I think it was Canada, because I think Sweden beat us for the gold and we had beaten Sweden earlier in the qualification round robin. I just say this to say, in gentlemanly sports, in sportsmanlike sports, where we're expected to police ourselves, just do the right thing the first time. I know it's the Olympics. I know you think a lot's riding on it, but do you, in the final analysis, do you want to get the gold that way? Like, it's tarnished. And if Canada, if those guys get all the way through, this is what everyone's going to remember, is it's tarnished. He said, fuck off. It's just a bad look. Also, anytime a Canadian swears, it's silly. It doesn't look authentic. It's a silly thing.
And that's how fairies are born.
And with that, you've spent a card. You've spent a full.
We weren't talking about ice dancing.
Well, that's good. That's good.
But I think the thing that's most interesting, speaking of people offending other people.
Oh boy.
Jerome Tang, former head coach of Kansas State. most famous, I think, in Spartan lore for faking an argument with his point guard for them to run an alley-oop on us in the middle of was that the Elite Eight?
Mhm.
Um,
That did happen.
yeah, it was sort of humiliating. But fired because he had the audacity in a post-game press conference to say something that's not too different than something Tom Izzo would regularly say, other than he said that most of the players on his team wouldn't be back wearing that jersey next year, which I bet you Tom Izzo has said at some point in time.
1000%. The great embarrassment to all of this, of course, is that what attorney do you think Mr. Tang retained
Tom
to
Mars.
ding 1000% accurate? So
He's
smart.
not even good. I don't understand the Tom Mars stuff. But so anyway, dear listener, Jerome Tang, if you've missed this, was fired for cause because he brought disrepute to the institution by making those comments.
Well, the problem is, but then this is where Kansas State Athletic Director Gene Taylor says the quiet part out loud in a recent public comments, in addition to the program's overall direction. Fortunately, that latter part, my friend, is not forecausable, and I'm quite sure that you've just fucked yourself nice and good, and Mr. Tang will be getting
fired for that
the
too.
full payout. Like, what are you? You can't say that part. He could hire Tom Mars. He could hire me. He could hire the what is lava lamp right next to this screen here that my husband loves.
Oh,
any of those things could represent Mr. Tang in this filing, and there would be
I could come in unlicensed
and do it at that point. So utterly,
I have my books over here. I'm ready. I'm prepared.
It's just so stupid. Oh God, yeah, they'll be paying the $19 million that are remaining on that contract. Good for him.
Oh my God. Well, I'm kind of curious how Kansas State is. I mean, that feels like a big whoopsie doodle. Kansas State may be better off saying, "Hey, Jerome, you can come back. We're going to fire the athletic director instead because that's cheaper." 19 bills, a lot of money. Should we chat some games coming up here, Plum, before we head to get social media questions? Dear listeners, if you are watching right now, you are more than capable of dropping some questions into the chat as well. But should we preview a couple games here?
Let's do it. Talk to us about UCLA.
Fighting Mick Cronin's coming to town. I think the biggest concern here is the 3-point shooting and the glare that will be coming off of Mick Cronin's head under the Breslin lights.
God,
but
my Lord, my God.
Last year we lost 63-61 in LA on our West Coast swoon.
Wait, was it swoon?
Michigan did just beat up on them by 30. They're Torvik 39, and I think the most interesting thing is that they replaced their center, who's now on Michigan, with Xavier Booker. I'm not overly worried about a West Coast team taking a trip out east, but it is worth probably calling out that they're pretty middle of the pack. They're KenPom 42, which is higher than either their offensive or defensive rating. 47 on offense, 49 on defense. They play slow. Their average tempo or adjusted tempo is 310th in the country.
Yeah, not good.
And they actually seem to have a net positive luck rating. So take that for whatever it's worth.
I love to be able to rely on luck. This was interesting. Izzo asked in his Wisconsin post game about Booker. I thought this was interesting that the questions kind of veered all over the fucking place. I wasn't quite sure where I was even in time listening to the
space
or space. I didn't sure I wanted to be. So that was something else. Izzo though, can't wait to see him again. And Izzo's kind of takeaway on this was, players come, the portal's good for some guys, but he said for Booker, I wish I had been able to be a better coach to him. I wish I'd been able to coach him in a way that I think he needed at the time he was with us. It was a mutual decision, his decision to leave, and I wish him the best, and I can't wait to see him. And I thought that was classic Izzo. Just
Sure.
not even the high road, because it didn't need to be a high road. It was just for Izzo, it's just the road. Like we would say, oh, well, he didn't go low, which I think is important to know because a lot of coaches, particularly Dusty Queef, who we've talked about on this podcast before, is someone who for whom there really is all kinds of roads, and he politically will choose whichever one is, the morally bankrupt road. But Izzo,
Sure.
it's just one road, and for him, he takes the road, and that road is calls it like he
Kind
sees
one.
it, and he's kind, and he wants the best for the guys that have been as part of his program. And I thought it was interesting. It's only 3 guys. I think they named 3, maybe 4, but I think it was 3 that they could recall. Guys who'd been with the program, who left the program, that he then got to see again on an opposing team.
Oh.
That really tells you something.
Foster's one for sure.
Foster
We
was
saw
one.
him in the
Rocket was
tournament.
Rocket was one when at Oakland.
Yeah. The next game we've got is Ohio State.
Yeah, after UCLA.
Yeah, they've got 2 straight losses. They play Wisconsin this week as well. Torvik 38, Ken Palm 40. And Ken Palm there 26 on offense, 71 on defense. Sort of low middle of the pack on tempo. 16 and 9. Look, I think the fact of the matter is that both of these games are games that Michigan State not only needs to win but should win.
We might say handedly. In fact, it would be probably good for the soul.
And if they don't, at some point in time, we can start saying, I don't know if I can dream about this season anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're going to the tournament, but like, I just don't know that we can dream anymore.
Yep.
So with that, should we do some social media questions?
I think so.
I think I gotta delete Mike Jones's questions because they didn't actually come in.
Well, let's acknowledge Mike Jones. The Flint Firebirds. I don't fucking know what the name of this semi-pro team is. Maybe pro, but not NHL level hockey team is in Flint. And they were the Flint Coney Dogs for a day because, you've heard me. If any longtime listener on this podcast knows anything about Alex Plum, it is that my obsession with Flint Coney Dogs goes very deep. So, anywho, on that note, very happy for the Flint Coney Dog t-shirt that Mike dropped off at my house. And when he did, he dropped off some alcohol because he's good at that. And as we like to say, they not all going to be winners. And oh boy, Whiskey in the Wild was one that he gave. Had strong tastes of chocolate, blackberry. I don't know how else to describe it. It was like, have you ever had a scratch and sniff? It was kind of like a scratch and sniff, the chocolate from a scratch and sniff sticker. It was bad. It was very, very bad. And
chocolate from a scratch and sniff sticker.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You were a kid once.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
supposedly.
Thank you, Michael, for the whiskey. And we shared it with friends on our ski trip, and everyone had a good what is Sheehan like to say, a hoot and a holler? We had a good hoot and a holler about
hoot and a half.
A hoot and a half, a good hoot and a half about the badness of that. So there we go.
All right. First up is Corey Ostrom, who asks, what are your unfiltered thoughts of Dusty now that he showed the kind of narcissistic ass he is on multiple occasions and for different reasons? I.e., I believe these are EGs, Corey, but no big deal. Handling of rivalry, disrespect on podcasts, in particular, disrespecting our podcast, if we're being really honest. We've asked him for comment several times and he's not responded. Tampering, airing his issues publicly, weed in the locker room, and the Yaks Purdue post, which I think he actually threw shade at Tom Izzo for.
He did. It was so unnecessary. He's on there. He says he's asked about the whole like this Yaks thing. which, by the way, I think is a nothing burger. The kid said something unflattering as a recruit. He piped off about Purdue. Who cares?
Right.
Shut up. Everyone shut the fuck up about what basketball players say about their opponents, particularly when their prefrontal cortexes are so underdeveloped. What we need to spend our time worried about is when the news media invites the coaches to reflect on it. The answer should just be, sorry, nothing burger. I don't think there's anything there. I've talked to him, learning opportunity, move along. Instead, he says, I have social media. I follow social media, so I don't have to say someone showed it to me to act like I don't have it.
Right. We all knew who that was about.
Oh my God. It's unforced. You don't have to be. This is the thing that drives me crazy. And he did this when we came to East. Like, listen, they're a great team. They let us have it at home. It was an embarrassing shellacking that frankly we deserved. And that's shame on us. Play better. Don't let that happen to you at home. So That's it. Full stop. End of story. What you don't expect to see, what you've never seen from Tom Izzo, is coming out while the players are warming up and then sort of rubbing it in the lower bowl Izzo team, like the fans' faces, and sitting in front of them in the visitor spectator chairs with his arms
power
back.
posing too. Yeah.
Power posing with his arms back on the chairs, like smiling, like, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, you guys hate me. Ha, ha. It was for the most. Socials.
It was for the gram.
It was for the gram. It was, who do you think you're impressing? I mean, like, who's the audience for this? Like, what are you, like, college kids are yelling at you because they're drunk and probably stoned and just because they're Izzone. Like, that's what the Izzone is. Like, I was my worst self when I went to the Izzone alumni game a month and a half ago. And it was a great blast of down memories past. That's their job, is to scream at you. Your job with your 7-figure contract is to be a professional. Your job is to professionally coach your players. Your job is to be the, what do they call themselves? The leaders and the best. And it is consistently a self-own at that program. The utter inability to take themselves fucking seriously as professionals. And this is what I'm saying. The rot, it is complete and it is thorough. It starts at the top. It works its way through every fucking layer of the school, and it cannot help but to be expressed. Dusty May doesn't have, I can't imagine he was like this before he came here. He doesn't have to behave this way, but it's unforced. And then maybe he was, but then these comments about social, just, you don't have to say any of it. It's not, I can't. I can't.
I have a comp for you on Dusty May.
Please. Very pleased.
Is he the Lane Kiffin of college basketball?
I mean, there's something there. There's something there. I haven't seen him in one of those like sport visors, so I guess if we can get him in one of those, the answer is for sure yes.
But if I told you he had 3 in his home that were on the like the coat rack, would you be surprised by that?
No, that would not be surprising to me at all. Okay. No, that's for sure.
I guess he does have better hair than Lane, so maybe he doesn't.
I guess.
Related, the JR Junior, Junior, great band, asks how rapidly, this is in the chat, how rapidly in your assessment is Dusty May ascending the ranks of dickheads from Ann Arbor? There's a lot of recency bias, I think, that's probably built in there.
Yeah.
I mean, because like, let's not forget Juwan Howard.
Yeah.
I mean, he sucked.
Awful. Well, he abused his fellow coaches. I mean, that's really takes some effort.
He charged the court to stop Cassius Winston from getting a 3.
He did do that. He actually did do that.
And then would play dumb at other times. Like,
it's embarrassing.
I guess there's some degree to which no, I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
There's a degree to which the way Dusty goes about it is more honest than what Juwan did, which made me kind of hate Juwan more. Dusty it just is an a-hole and is just being one. Like, it isn't hiding it. Right? I mean, he's not being shy. Does he think people like him? I don't know. Like, does it benefit you to go against Tom Izzo in such a public way?
$5.1 million annually. That's how much he makes.
Mm.
No
Money
amount of salary will make up for a penis
that
small.
All right, next up, Jason Fry. What are the odds that Grooch is the father of Grooch's wife's baby? I guess it's about 15% chance that she's his offspring. Oh, to be clear, that's the baby and not his wife.
Not the wife.
And 85% that it's the child of Grooch's wife's boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. That's listen, dear listener, we've seen one picture. It was a very blurry picture. Now, Kevin is not skilled at a lot of things, and most things involving tech, we probably acknowledge. So I was unsurprised by this. I will say that baby, even at this early phase, in that cloudy, distorted lens, had some very distinctive Grooch features. And I'll just let you guess what those are. You know?
I mean, I guess I would just also say, though, like, who took the picture?
That's right.
I think
That's right.
was Grooch's wife's boyfriend there?
In the room? I don't know. I like to think that probably they were.
Jason continues, Plum. What is the most likely name of future Little Miss Grooch? Soylent Grooch, Matrix Goop Grooch, Bland Foods Grooch, Flavorless Grooch.
So at one point they had been talking about working names into the repertoire of potential names to honor Michigan State legacy. I was pushing hard for Drew Neitzel Grooch, and I don't know that was one of the selected names. You've got to position sort of gender neutral names in today's climate for political correctness, and because boy, girl, intersex, trans, and they're turning the kids gay and trans all the time now in the schools. So
you got to perform too.
You've got to perform. So we don't know. So I just thought Drew Neitzel Grooch was a good option. So I was going to suggest that would be most likely, but I don't think it was successful.
I really rooted for Mateen, but for some reason, Grooch wasn't on board with it.
Stephen Mateen Izzo Grooch the third.
Yes.
That's great. All right. Next up, Thomas Abiasi. Michael, if the Jake Boss extension was enough to upset Louisville twice, how much do we need to pay him to finish in the top half of the conference?
This was wild. I believe also softball took down a big victory in early season play.
That's really early.
I don't know. Like, it is one of those things where it's like, hey, bud, Jake, we get it. You got a booth at the Riv. Your name is literally on it. Could you win some games though, pal? Like, I don't know. And then I feel like Jake Boss does just enough in an underfunded sport that no one wants to come play in this godforsaken state. To keep his job.
Yeah.
Like, and you can point to Michigan becoming kind of a power, but I don't really care. So I don't know. But great call, Thomas. Next up from Thomas, we're in danger of this becoming the next great what if basketball season, or was there always a decent chance of it ending up, oh my God, a little hairy like this?
I don't.
I'm gonna yawn again.
Yeah, you can. I've been trying to stifle them. It's that damn drive. It's that 4-hour drive from up north. It just kills you. Anyway, danger of this. Yeah, of course we're in danger of this, but I don't know if this is going to be the next great what if basketball season. I'll say this. If it is, it's already happened. Okay, Divine Ugochukwu's injury is the precursor to this question, in my humble opinion. I think you have a direct line between that injury, our lack of being able to have some clutch depth, and the shooting side. You don't That's it for me. I don't. Fears has been Fears has been Fears. Fears has been this up down wavy inconsistent bullshit point guard who, frankly, I'm kind of over at this point. I want him to do well. I don't know. He's whatever.
I, but
Kohler's told you who he is at this point. I want to be able to rely on him. You can't. So I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is, yes, there was a better than decent chance that it was always going to end up a little hairy like this, because that's Big Ten basketball. I mean, another year under all of their belt, maybe a healthy Divine Ugochukwu. I just can't with these injuries. My God, these injuries.
I
Am
don't
I
even
wrong
know
on that?
though. Like, can we say that oh, what if because of Divine Ugochukwu? Like, was anyone really banking on that?
That's fair. That's good. That's fucking good. That's great.
Thomas adds, also bonus, are there good places to submit questions for those looking to going on a social media diet for the foreseeable future? Do want to keep up with the show, but doom scrolling doesn't seem to be good for the brain. Thomas, 10-4, good buddy.
I think we have to record live more often. I think that might be the answer.
I do too. I also, here's the thing, Thomas, about the blue ski. I'll predict your guy's not going to like this, but there's nothing on the blue ski but doom and gloom. It's a bit of an echo chamber on there, and for those people, the world is ending.
Yep.
Every day.
Yep.
And then every day they get up and it's going to be this day. And that's not to say that we're not going in a bad direction. I want to be very clear about that. But I can appreciate why you might be feeling a little exhausted.
Yep.
Because the news is exhausting right now. So you can reach out to us at can'tread.can'twrite1855@gmail.com. Since Greg has opted to take FMLA from the podcast, he doesn't get a vote anymore on going live.
That's right.
You'll be able to submit questions via the chat whenever you want to, Thomas. We generally record on Sundays around 9
o'clock Eastern. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. So would love to have you. But again, for anyone who wants to take a break from social media, you'll probably notice from our feeds, we've taken a break. And you can email at can'twrite1855@gmail.com.
Here.
Next up, Tigers fan 63. Your favorite Winter Olympic sport is curling for the fights.
Curling.
Obviously.
It's for the fights. It's the drama. I'm a drama queen. You know that. Speed skating is pretty cool. Speed skating is cool. The luge, pretty cool.
You're missing me on heated rivalry for curling. Would you not watch that?
I would watch that. The things that they could do with those stones, my lord, my God.
But also like mixed
the brooms.
Yeah, the brooms.
Here's my question: in today's utterly performative, progressive culture in which we're living, I mean, the French ice dancing couple that got first place despite all the allegations, that guy is gay as fuck. That guy, oh my
allegations
God.
Of what?
Oh, just, I don't know, being mean to his last partner, and then she was abused and the other woman was abused. Everyone's been abused. I mean, that sounds like I'm downplaying it, and I'm not. Sexual abuse is serious, and if it happens, it should be investigated and people held accountable. It sounds like he was a bully and he bullied her, and that sounds awful too. And then he got a new partner, and now they just won gold. That's awesome. And yeah, there's some drama because the French judges gave the French team more points and gave the Americans less. And that happens. Every team gets those points. But there was a standard deviation, and it felt like it was maybe a little bit more of a cut because America was close. Anyway, my point is the dude was gay as fuck, and he had an ass to prove it. But my point here is this. I would think he'd probably rather be ice dancing with a dude. You know? I mean, the whole point is it's supposed to be symbolizing some sort of, romantic thing. So why can't they, you get a bear and a twink out there dancing together, and they can lift the one and throw them around. So I don't know. If we're going to go there, let's just get them as gay as fuck. Half these fucking people are so gay anyway. So let's just let them live into it, and not expecting Russia, but the Americans, the Canadians, the French, God, the French. Are there straight men in France? I don't know. It's a question.
I like your proposal for essentially ice erotica.
Ice. That's it.
Next up from Tigers fan 63, other than hockey and figure skating, are the Winter Olympics just one big hold my beer contest?
I actually think that's a good take. I actually think that's a very good take.
If we were doing a take show, that
That's
might win.
That's a great take.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Maybe we should mix this up while Greg's on leave and just have people give us takes instead.
Mhm.
Just continue to just steal from Couch more and more. Next from Tigers fan 63, have any of you ever hit your head harder than Jace Richardson did on his dunk attempt? Did you see him rear end the backboard?
It was painful looking.
Mm-hmm.
Did not look comfortable.
It really was one of those things where it's like, can we just get Cohen Carr here already?
Literally. And I will just say on that note too. Well, no, I won't. It's good. Yeah, I don't know. Yucky, not good. Head injuries, not good.
No good.
Take them seriously. All right, next up, cardboard recycling national champion.
Oh, you missed the bonus from.
There was a bonus from Tigers fan. But you get 3 questions. Okay, this is gratuitous, Tigers fan. Bigger homecoming though, Max Bulla or Justin Verlander? I'm going to say Max Bulla.
Oh, I was going to say Verlander because I think Max Bulla was perfectly fine being over at Notre Dame. I don't think he needed. I'm happy. I'm thrilled he's here, but I don't think he needed this.
Well, no one needs to do anything. I mean, Verlander moved to Florida from Michigan. Fuck off, Florida. So, whatever. Hope he's good.
But next up, cardboard recycling national champion. Am I too late to submit a question? Is there a ballpark cutoff time? You weren't. I responded. You've not replied. Checking now.
So that is your question.
So the answer is, again, for Thomas Zambiasi in your burner account, 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern time, Sundays, unless it's Monday.
And you'll never know. So get it in by Sunday. All right, next up, Sparty Kawhi.
Beth Amaro.
I know who it was. Hi, Beth. Michael, which school is going to do us a solid in Middle Tennessee those jerks into oblivion?
I hope it's Middle Tennessee. I hope they just come from the Mitten State. I don't even know what Middle Tennessee's up to this year.
It's awesome.
But I don't know. Like, Michigan is not invincible.
No.
I suspect they don't make a Final Four.
Mm-hmm. Well, you heard it here first.
Next up from Beth Amaro, for each of you, convince us why you'll be Greg's baby's favorite uncle.
I know why it'll be me, but I want to know why you. Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm.
But you do know that means I will bring bigger gifts.
Gifts. That's right. That's also true. And you've got a kid to potentially to play with, so there's some fun
and
there.
To hand me down. Just
I don't know if that's gonna work.
She's not gonna know.
It's so true. With all the gray and light brown that they'll be dressing her in, because drab,
yellow,
so drab.
Yellow's green, a lot of green.
So much green. All right, next up, Nate C. Michael, if the basketball team had beating Nebraska and Scum, would you still consider this team national champion caliber?
I think this team is perfectly capable of putting together 6 wins to get there. Do I think it's likely? I do not. So in that way, like, are they caliber? Yes, and that I believe that was true irrespective of those games.
Thank you for irrespective. Very nice.
Yeah, I don't do irregardless.
Apparently Merriam-Webster does. Fucking sellouts.
They are the worst.
The worst.
Ugh. Yep. It's a shame to Merriam and Webster. Plum, next question from Nate C. The basketball team has 3 more losses coming in the regular season. Who and which will hurt the most? They do not, Nate.
Yeah, I don't think we do either. This week is going to be a pair of wins for us for sure. I mean, if they were going to happen, it would be Purdue and Michigan, and then probably Rutgers, just because they should have beaten us at home. We beat them in overtime, and they're going to give it back to us. Again, it's not going to happen, but if there were going to be 3, those would be the 3.
Yeah, I mean, I do think there's a degree to which I'm planning on losing to Purdue.
Yes,
I don't know that I've seen. When's the last time we saw a win at Mackey?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually,
Honestly, Mackey should Purdue should start a thing where when they lose at home, the students storm the court because it's so hard to play. Like,
yeah,
what a magnanimous gesture, right? Like,
yep.
and also really, really degrading. And like, oh, you got one here. Anyway, Nate C asks next, curling can be pretty hard on ice. Hockey in general destroys ice. What other things destroy ice, Alex?
Peaceful, nonviolent resistance
Hmm.
can warm the hearts of even the coldest days. Sorry. I know that's a really unpopular answer. I don't know how else you have to keep working at things, right?
Yeah,
Constant
advocating for
even
your Second Amendment rights.
That's it. Constant even pressure applied consistently but gently over time will wear down and melt cold blocks of ice. I don't fucking know. Just don't resort to their level. I fucking hate ice. And it's awful because I know we need law enforcement to some extent in this country. Yada, 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 generic political answer. But Christ, the things that they're doing is just so fundamentally anti-American. It's fucked. Last up from Nate C. Bonus. Fuck the Olympics and fuck Russia's feelings.
I don't know why we're upset at Russia in particular, but I'm here for it and co-sign. There was a time in this country where we had a proper villain that we were opposed to, and somewhere along the line that changed, and it's very confusing to me.
Confusing.
Yep. But yeah, also in particular the Winter Olympics, Nate.
I love the Winter Olympics. They're the best Olympics. Best Olympics. All right, next up, Upper Deck Jerk Guy. Michael, can you give him 3 good reasons why he should keep listening to the pod?
I can't. Grooch's baby's college fund. He said he's funding it exclusively off of the backs of our ads.
The tens and tens of dollars we make.
Yeah,
every year.
He's a deeply cheap person, and it's unfortunate. It's really showing. He was searching Reddit for used formula the other day. So please, you should keep listening to the podcast for his baby.
For old baby Grooch. All right. I will answer it this way, though. I'll answer it this way. It was so warm at Crystal Mountain where we were skiing this weekend that I didn't need my jacket or my any of the layers I had been wearing 2 weeks ago when we were up at Nubs. So I wore my sweater. For folks watching, Michael is displaying the Can't Read, Can't Write sweater that our wives bought us. And husband, I have a husband. I like to say that pisses him off. I wore mine on the slopes and got a lot of feedback. A lot of feedback from Michigan people who can all fuck off. When I went there, we used to say that. I'm like, great. You work at a ski mountain now. So how are you doing? Okay. Anyway, that was a shitty thing to say. He should, I'm sure, enjoy his life. But a man.
Well, no, let's not say he shouldn't enjoy his life.
He should. He made a choice, and I hope he's enjoying it. I hope he's enjoying what's left of it because no one deserves. Well, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going there. I'm just going to say I got on the lift with another man from Iowa State who had a lot of questions about the pod, and it was a nice conversation. And he asked me, what advice would I give to someone? He's like, I don't want to start a pod, which I thought was an unnecessary rejoinder. He said, I'm not going to start a pod, but if you had any advice to give, like what's the most important piece of advice you'd give? And I said, do it with people you love, because, I just let it hang there for a second. And then he's like, well, why? And I said, well, because you're tired, you got to work the next morning, and you got to put the outline together. And I never do the outline. So really now I understand what you have to go through, and we got to get the questions down, and I got to write the cold open in the 30 seconds before we hit record. So it's just a lot. And, you're tired. But
Yeah.
getting to talk to these two jabronis, it's special. And if you don't have a fondness for us yet, Upper Deck Jerk Guy, fuck off.
Plum, have you thought about giving up on sports as a fan?
Impossible. I'm too simple-minded. I'll always have a heart for sports, though I hate it, and I'll hate that about myself forever.
Yeah, I think that's right. I'm not going to stop cheering for Michigan State, but I will say they're coming really dangerously close to, and I think you can hear it in the tone of our podcast.
I think so too.
When Plum talked about you need to love who you do it with, the NCAA has really tested the limits of that.
Yeah, pretty hard.
Next up from the Upper Deck Jerk Guy, does next year's basketball team have a better chance at a natty than this year's team?
I think so.
I don't know. I don't know what other teams are going to be next year.
Sure, there's a portal. We don't know. We can't prove the counterfactual.
I don't know if Cohen Carr is going to stay. I don't know if you're going to lose Jackson Kohler and Carson Cooper, so we're going to have to go get a center from the portal.
Please,
are they going to be any good?
Yeah.
Can Cam Ward shoot better than 40% from the line?
Is Denim Wojcik going to just melt? Can he melt into a puddle and with his dad just fucking not be here anymore? A lot of questions.
Guard play should be better next year. I will say that. Guard play should be better next year. Next up, Mamapa Leaf. The Canadian and Swedish curling teams are accusing each other of cheating.
I love. Wait, hold on a second. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Very good.
We're not doing this.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not gonna.
We're
not gonna do this reductivist. Both sides-isms, Susan. No. Don't be Canadian on this.
Are cheaters.
They're cheaters.
And you don't bring a camera crew to watch the line in a gentleman's sport unless someone's a notorious cheater and liar.
Embarrassed.
A French judge appeared to have shown favor to their own skaters. There's a helmet-wearing issue honoring Ukrainian athletes that have died since Russia's invasion and more. What sport is without controversy these days? Should also mention while we're at it, Plum. There was another mass shooting today, this time at a youth hockey game in Rhode Island.
No.
And
oh God. Oh.
Yeah, it's horrifying.
Oh no, really?
And so I do. These things happen all the time. We are in proximity to the anniversary, obviously, of the one that happened in Michigan State. Yeah, just keeps happening here. But I don't know that there's a sport without controversy or terrible things.
Oh God. This is
it's not
sounding.
It's don't watch.
Oh no. Well, that's awful. My God, my Lord and my God.
Do we just trauma bond with everybody right now?
I don't. That's just terrible. I mean, we were on this. We were recording live. I mean, we weren't live, but we were recording in real time when the shooting unfolded at Michigan State. That was awful. Well, that's awful. That's very traumatic and awful. And I did see the helmet issue involving the Ukrainian athletes. I will say this. That's stupid. That's a rule. I don't understand it. It didn't seem to me to be political sloganeering. It was honoring dead people. I don't know why the Olympics decided to make that. Again, you don't have to make things an issue. There were no words. It was just people's pictures. They're dead people. I don't like. We know why they died. We know why they're on there. But at the end of the day, they're just pictures of people. If there's a rule that says you can't have any pictures of people on the helmet, but that's the Olympics having to go out of their way to say, well, they're dead because Russia. Well, yes, they are dead because of Russia. That's actually the reason why you're not allowing Russian athletes to participate under their own flag, nor Belarus, because Belarus is so ardently supporting Russia's effort in this. The Olympics already made the determination politically that Russia can't participate in this because of Russia's actions. And so then you're going to turn around and you're saying so I thought it was crocodile tears when the president of the IOC came out crying because she tried at the last minute to intervene with the Ukrainian athlete begging him, imploring him to just take the stickers off of his helmet so that he could. And then she's like, it was just a really hard conversation. And I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Stop crying. You are the leader of the IOC. I guess that's her job. I don't know what I think that's her job. I think she's the leader of the IOC. I'm the leader of an organization. I have to make tough fucking calls all the time. The last thing anyone expects me to do is cry about the tough fucking decision I had to make. Shut the fuck up, sack up, you loser, and make the tough call. Stand by your decision. You didn't need to get involved here. It's unattractive and it's disrespectful. It's inconsistent with this with IOC's art. Their existing whole fucking position on the reason why Russia isn't involved. And it's embarrassing. It's a cell phone. I'm so sick and tired of these fucking people stepping in it. So I don't know.
Yeah. It's almost as if they think that just by suspending Russia from the Olympics,
They've
that
addressed
that's enough, and that there shouldn't be more that happens, right? It's almost as if they're a referee who's saying that I've solved the war.
Fixed it. It's stupid. Fucking stupid. I shouldn't get so worked up about it. I'm the loser here.
No, I don't think you're wrong.
All right.
There. I mean, what was it? The Mexico City Games.
Yes.
Political speech has and will be a cornerstone to the Olympic Games, because so rarely for many of these countries do people get a worldwide, get a view into what's happening in their home countries.
Yep.
And so, to a degree, the Olympics should honestly embrace that. Last up, Leaf, coming from a country that tries to suppress speech and gaslight people. And speaking of controversy, will the MSU trustees end up being fined for possibly retaining view-only information about the in-development Spartan Ventures?
I don't know anything about this, but it seems to me, you would know. View isn't if you can view it, can you not keep it, or is it like if you view it, you have to destroy it? I don't know how view works. Seems like you can't share it, but are you allowed to remember it?
Did they shared information about Spartan Ventures? Is that what happened?
Well, she said retaining. I don't know.
Well, so it's an issue involving NDAs.
Spartan Ventures NDA bans note-taking, imposes hefty fines for MSU trustees.
Yeah. Note here that Dennis Deno is really coming out here. But look, Leaf, I think we should all remember listener of the show, Alan Haller, once famously emailed from his MSU email account to Caesars Sportsbook asking if this will be FOIA-able. Yes, you dumbass.
Everything.
So I understand Spartan Ventures is trying to thread a bit of a needle. And how do you allow board of trustees involvement into something that's inherently trying to be private? You have to use a monetary consequence. So I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure that's frankly enforceable. I mean, they are a publicly elected statewide office holder responsible to be the fiduciary of a state funded entity. Like I'm not quite confident that this is even an enforceable provision.
But if they signed a deal with Caesars Sportsbook,
right?
They could sign an NDA around the negotiations.
Sure.
I mean, they can't withhold documents for sure. Those are all indeed FOIA-able, but like you can't compel a trustee member to testify.
No.
So I don't know, but I'm sure that a trustee will mess this up. I'm certain about that.
Yep, and it will definitely, almost for sure, be Dennis Steno.
Uh, uh, all right, buddy, we did it. It's been real. Baby Grooch, I know this is the first time that you've heard an adult male talk to you, but we're happy that you're here. And go green.
Go